Hello, welcome to the Mark Janad Show, the cybersecurity show. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Unitree G1 humanoid robot. I'm going to just give you an overview about it because it's getting a lot of craze and steam. But before I proceed, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Please take a moment to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going dark. So the Unitree Robotics is a world-renowned civilian robotics company which is focusing on the R&D, production, and sales of consumer and industry class, high-performance, general-purpose, legged, and humanoid robots, 6-axis manipulators, and so on. Unitree Robotics has been invited to attend the 2021 CCTV Spring Festival Gala, the opening ceremony of Winter Games 2022, the 2023 Super Bowl, the 19th Asian Games, and the 4th Asian Power Games, and it has been interviewed, and reported by the CCTV, BBC, and other well-known media for many years. So Unitree Robotics is the world's first company to start public retail of high-performance quadruped robots, and the first to achieve industry landing with global sales leading over the years. So does anyone want to buy a humanoid robot for $16,000? The latest product from Unitree hopes that you will, right? So again, let's meet the Unitree G1, which is a humanoid agent AI avatar, aka a robot. If you haven't heard of Unitree, it's sort of the go-to budget Chinese option in the robot space. You're going to have to deal with company promotional materials that are just barely written in English, but you get some impressive bang for your buck robots. You may have seen the Spot knockoff Unitree Go-To, which is a 1,600 robot dog that that various resellers have equipped with a flamethrower or just straight up military rifles. Yeah, that's that tech dog that don't make fun of my gun sounds. So Unitree's promo video shows some impressive capabilities for such a cheap robot. It can stand up, on its own from a flat on the floor position. Just like the recent Boston Dynamics Atlas video, the G1 stands up in probably the strangest way possible while lying face up on the floor. The G1 brings, its knees up, puts its feet flat on the floor, and then pushes up on the feet to form a tripod with the head still on the ground. From there, it uses a limbo. I don't even know if this is limbo, but it uses a limbo-like move to lean its knees forward, bringing up its head and torso with all core strength. The G1 is a budget robot, so the walk cycle is kind of primitive. It walks, stands, and runs in a permanent half squat with its legs forward and knees bent all the time. The balance looks great though. At one point, a person shows up and roughs up the robot a bit, kicking it in the back and punching it, and they was throwing them hands with it, and punching it in the chest. In both cases, it absorbs the abuse with just a step back or two and keeps on trucking. So, is this humanoid robot useful? Is it a toy? How are we to look at it? So a big limitation in the real world is its height. A diminutive 4'2" tall, it's 4 feet 2 inches tall, which will make any task difficult. If you ask the unusual "can it do the dishes" question, assuming the water won't be an issue, you're going to first have to hope it can reach the bottom of the sink. It's going to struggle to reach the bottom shelf of a kitchen cabinet. So maybe you can teach it to use a stool. The small size is key to getting the price down, though. Unitree's other humanoid robot, the H1, is adult size, but it's also 90 grand. Yeah, it's the price of a car out here, guys. So as for other specs in the confusing and poorly put together spec sheet, it has a 9,000 mAh battery that lasts 2 hours. The weight is listed at both 35 kilograms and 47 kilograms, depending on where you look. So it's somewhere between 77 to 104 pound range. We do get real component model numbers for the vision system, an Intel RealSense D435 depth camera, and a Livux MID 360 lidar puck. The lidar puck location is interesting. The face of the robot is clear glass, and the head is hollow aside from a brain part. At the top of the head, the lidar puck is mounted to the underside of the brain and peers through the front of the face glass to see forward. Robot design is weird. Okay, so the robot can run, at 2 meters per second or 4.5 miles per hour. So we could beat it, guys. We can run and we can beat it. We can beat it. So that's around a slow jog. If our maximum load on the spec sheet is how much it can lift, it can lift 2 kilograms or a paltry 4.4 pounds. The joints are all in a 160 to 310 degree range. You're going to have to do a lot of programming to make this do anything useful. But Unitree is not very forthcoming about how you're supposed to do that, right? Presumably, you'll be using the same Unitree SDK the robot dogs use. You can also poke around the developer documentation for the Unitree H1 to get an idea of what you'll be in for. Unitree's video shows the robot crudely attempting a few tasks that don't really come across as all that successful, even if the upbeat promo music tries to put a positive spin on everything. The robot tries nut cracking by picking a walnut out of a bowl, putting it on a countertop, and absolutely smashing it into pieces while making a big mess. It opens a glass Coke bottle by karate chopping the bottle cap, which shatters the rim of the bottle and causes the soda to overflow and spill everywhere. Next, the robot has a plan on a turned off electric stove, and with a kind of impressive wrist flick, manages to flip a dry piece of bread over the pan, or over in the pan. Then it dumps the raw bread onto a plate as if it has accomplished something. Later, it presses a hot soldering iron onto a wire with one hand, but because it doesn't actually use a second hand to hold solder up to the iron, it's just making wire hot for absolutely no reason. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and the like button. There are all the beginnings of an idea of doing a useful task, but even in this official, of the promo curated video, it couldn't properly complete a single task, right? The robot seems to be just making a big mess most of the time. The video also warns some of the sample functions of this video are still being developed and tested. It's a bit confusing to see the robot do tasks in front of what your brain assumes is a kitchen countertop. But since the robot is only 4 feet tall, a normal countertop of around 3 feet high would be roughly elbow height for this thing, right? It's doing these tasks while standing at a sit-down table. Even if those tasks were successful, at a 16,000 price tag, I don't think the robot comes with hands. Some parts of the video show functional 3-fingered hands that can grasp objects and break things, while the other half of the video and a lot of the press images have what look like non-functional placeholder hands. So that's what I have for you today. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and the like button. I appreciate your viewership. See you in the next video.